I see you watching me when we're with our friends. It's definitely something in the air. So let's take it from there, 'cause I know you want it. Afraid to let it show. And I know you need it. Why don't we let it grow, grow, grow? I think it's time.
So, our garden is a mess. We've been kind of neglecting it for about 2 or 3 months now, with me being in Georgia and traveling back and forth and whatnot. So in this video, we're going to show you how we're going to be doing a garden cleanup, and we're going to start right now.
Why don't we let it grow? Why don't we let it? Why don't we let it grow, 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 grow? It grows stronger for every day. We just can't keep it away. No, grow, 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 grow. It grows stronger for every day. We just can't keep it away. Oh, make you move before someone takes your place.
What's going on, YouTube Gardener? It's your boy Sydney from the Naked Gardener channel. We're going to take y'all along with us in this video and show you the plants that we're going to be taking out for, and the reasons why. Some of the vegetables here have went to flower, and some of them have grown so tall that they've been overshadowing the other plants and not allowing them to grow with a right amount of sunlight. So we're going to try to clear out some of these plants, not get rid of all of them, and that way will help kind of smooth the transition. Alright, so as you can see, we have our mustard spinach, and it's going to flower. Normally we would let it go to flower, at least one plant to go to flower, so that way we can collect the seeds, harvest the seeds, and grow for next year. But since we have no room for that and no special cause for it because we're moving, we're just going to pull this out and just make way. That's a nice little root ball system. And that's going to go into the compost later on. And then most of these went to flower.
Is this arugula?
This is a mustard spinach.
Okay.
So since it started going to flower, it basically changed the whole taste of the plant, and you don't want that. It makes it not as pleasant. So that's going to the compost area. And see, with the plants being so huge, it just overshadowed these. These are also mustard spinach, and it doesn't allow the plants to grow. Here we have some rodents been eating on these. This one is just real puny. These are the dinosaur kale. So I'm just going to pull these up because it's just not as good. What was this? Your poppy?
Oh, that's yeah, there's a tag.
So this is once again dinosaur kale. As you can see, some rodents been eating it up. And with these plants being so tall, it's just not getting the right amount of sunlight. So we're just going to get rid of it. And that's what we're basically looking for in this whole garden bed, is finding what plants are just overshadowing, what went to flower. You got this, once again, this is dinosaur kale that's been eaten up by some rodent, along with this right over here, and some back here. So I might just pull these two up, and that way allows the rest of these plants to flourish, and then just chop off some of these bad leaves, so that way we'll know if another rodent's been still eating on these. So here we have Mrs. Naked Gardener's loofah. These has been very prolific. I think we had 3 seeds over here, 3 seeds over here, and they just like covered our garden here. It's been kind of overshadowing some of the vegetables here, so I'm glad that we finally get to take it down. Mrs. Naked Garden is going to let these stay out and continue drying out. Hopefully they'll dry out by the time we leave here, so that way we can, once we go to our next homestead or our forever home homestead, we could probably plant 3 to 6 seeds only and start selling or giving some seeds of these loofahs. So I'm going to finish tearing this down and finish with this compost pile.
What do you think the biggest problem in this bed is?
Once again, just growing so much. Everything's fighting for nutrition.
And us just not being able to cut it back.
Cut it back, harvest it, fertilize on a regular basis like we were doing.
Of all of the beds, this one looks like it's the happiest though.
Yeah. And that's probably because all these probably got worms just up on here. They're probably a little bit deeper since it's a colder month. But yeah.
We haven't even fed these worm towers.
I don't think we fed this whole garden since November.
Yeah.
Most of the greens, most fall plants just need a lot of nitrogen fertilizer. And that's just to help it stay green and healthy. Ooh, look at that. Cauliflower.
Ooh. That's our purple cauliflower?
Yep, that is the purple of Sicily. Here we have our bed that we were going to start off as a 3-sister bed that didn't do too well. So we eventually gave to Mrs. Naked Gardener to allow her to do her flower bed or her bed, whatever she wanted to do in here. We have a different variety of flowers and lavender. The flowers we're going to wind up just getting rid of, but we're going to keep our lavender because Mrs. Naked Gardener could do some type of essential oils later on. So we're going to put these in our containers that's out in our pot in our front beds with our rosemary, and the rest of these we'll just dig up. So we have our rosemary. We used to have some lantanas out in these 2 planters. The potting soil is pretty much all spent, so we're going to try to do a quick revitalize by adding some of this compost and some other new fresh potting mix that we have in here. We're going to get rid of some of these, we'll just crush up some of these leaves that's already in here, get rid of some of these dead stems from this rosemary plant, and we're going to transplant 1 lavender in each one of these. So here we have Mrs. Naked Gardener's curry plant, and it's been knocked over and beat up by this heavy winds we've been having in North Texas. Normally you want to re-up pot any of your indoor plants or your plants right before the springtime. However, to keep it from getting knocked over, as you can see with this wind, we're going to up pot it into a larger size pot. Now we have some compost that Triumph by Will, Peter from Triumph by Will, gave us from when we did a tour at his place. And then we have some worm casting that we're going to add into here, so that way come springtime, once the soil gets nice and warm, it's going to help start feeding this plant here. So let's get into that. It's about time to get it uprooted.
I'm trying to get root down.
Tease some of the roots. So I hope you like this video. If so, make sure you give us a thumbs up. It really helps our channel out. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss an upload. Now we do these types of videos normally every now and then. We'll put a playlist of some garden tips that we do in our garden. And to the next video, let's grow together.
I see you watching me when we're with our friends.